opening the center to develop pieces and claim space at the earliest opportunity. Instantly contesting the center, Sicily's defense shapes a sharp positional battle from the outset. Establishing central influence, this knight prepares to contest the d4 square, aiming for a dynamic opening where white often enjoys a space advantage. Solidifying the center and preparing for a flexible pawn structure, this choice opens diagonals for the queen and bishop. Initiating a central pawn exchange immediately challenges black's setup, aiming for open lines and active piece play. Embracing the open Sicilian, you instantly challenge white's central pawn and initiate dynamic exchanges, aiming for active piece play. Opening the d-file for your rook now becomes a realistic prospect, a dynamic advantage to pursue. Developing the knight here immediately pressures white's central pawn and prepares for kingside castling, setting up dynamic play. Solidifying the central pawn and preparing for king's side development, while subtly contesting potential piece play. Preparing to challenge the center with b5, this quiet pawn advance builds pressure without immediate confrontation. Solidifying the central pawn presence and preparing to castle kingside, this development readies the knight's defender for potential pawn advances and aims to connect the rook soon. Opening the center with this pawn thrust immediately challenges white's knight and gains crucial central space, aiming to free black's position. It's a bold statement, forcing white to decide whether to retreat the knight or engage in a pawn exchange, potentially altering the pawn structure for the entire game. This move signals black's intention to fight for initiative from the outset. Rerouting the knight to b3 is a wise repositioning, aiming to bolster the queenside and prepare for potential pawn pushes like c4, simultaneously contesting the center and creating a more robust structure for white's pieces. Developing the bishop here beautifully shores up the e5 pawn and prepares to castle, firmly establishing a solid defensive structure for black while keeping options open for queenside expansion later. Castling secures the king, a crucial step towards developing piece harmony and preparing for central expansion. Castling secures the king, a paramount concern, and connects the rooks, preparing them for active deployment across open files. Securing the bishop's outpost on e3 supports the central pawn push and prepares to contest the d-file, while also aiming to exchange that annoying knight on c6. The queen's repositioning initiates a thematic plan, aiming to connect the rooks and potentially prepare a queenside pawn advance. This subtle maneuver simultaneously contests the d4 square and offers support to the knight should it become a target later. Securing the queenside, white preemptively discourages black's potential pawn pushes like b5 or b4, creating a solid structure and limiting black's expansion opportunities on that flank, while also eyeing potential outposts on b5 for knights. Reinforcing the center and preparing for queenside expansion, this bishop neatly tucks away, eyeing potential weaknesses and offering support for the upcoming queenside play, all while keeping the king safe. A bold territorial claim, this advance aggressively constricts black's queenside options, potentially limiting piece mobility and forcing a defensive posture on that flank. Solidifying the knight's position and preparing for a queenside pawn advance, this knight repositions to a more active square, anticipating a potential pawn storm or simply offering support to the queenside structure that white has been building. Unleashing the knight to d5 seizes a crucial outpost, eyeing the exposed d6 pawn and creating immediate pressure on black's pawn structure, potentially forcing a concession or a defensive maneuver that might compromise piece mobility. The knight's departure from d5, forced by its sibling on b3, immediately alters the pawn structure, creating a subtle tension along the d-file. Black's choice to recapture with the other knight solidifies central influence, but importantly, it opens the possibility for the queen to become more active and potentially target weaknesses that were previously defended by the now exchanged knight. This exchange might also hint at a future pawn advance on the queenside for white, which black will need to be mindful of. Opening the e-file now grants white an immediate claim on a central artery, potentially creating persistent pressure on black's queenside and offering avenues for rooks to join the fray later. This exchange seizes initiative by redefining the pawn structure and liberating the queen's bishop from its passive post, while simultaneously challenging black's central control. Emerging from the shadows, black's bishop aims to redefine the piece dynamics, challenging white's central control and eyeing potential diagonal pressure. Solidifying central pawn presence, this move aims to establish long-term dominion over the d5 square and restrict black's piece mobility, particularly the light-squared bishop. Alternative perspective. Asserting control of the center, this pawn push initiates a strategic struggle for influence over key squares. Another angle. Preparing to anchor the knight on d5, this pawn advance seeks to create a stable outpost for white's cavalry. Further contemplation. Establishing a robust pawn chain, this move aims to limit black's queenside expansion and create potential attacking avenues. Looking deeper. Shaping the pawn structure for future skirmishes, this advance signals white's intention to maintain a strategic advantage. The bishop elegantly retreats, seeking refuge on the queenside's open diagonal, but the positional cost of this retreat is a lingering weakness on the dark squares around black's king, a consequence of the earlier pawn push that opened up this path. Securing the d-file for potential future pressure, white mobilizes the rook to a more active central outpost, a critical step in developing piece coordination and preparing for pawn advances on the queen side. A spirited central thrust, this nc5 injects immediate dynamism into the position, challenging white's knight and aiming to disrupt the queenside pawn structure while simultaneously preparing to eye the d3 square. The knight on d5, a potent outpost, is now exchanged, simplifying the central landscape and reducing white's immediate attacking potential, while simultaneously opening a diagonal for black's queen. Accepting the doubled pawns on the c-file opens up a central diagonal for black's light-squared bishop to become a more active piece, potentially targeting white's kingside sooner than anticipated. Unleashing a pawn thrust, white immediately challenges the queenside structure, aiming to pry open lines and potentially create a passed pawn while simultaneously restricting black's counterplay. Securing the open c-file with the rook, Rack 8 aims to establish a dynamic presence and potentially contest control of this crucial vertical pathway, complementing the bishop on g6 and preparing for future pawn pushes or piece activity on the queenside. Unlocking the queenside by targeting weaknesses and establishing a strong queenside presence, this maneuver intends to exploit black's slightly passive pawn structure. White aims to create pressure along the newly opened b-file and potentially launch a kingside attack by shifting forces. The queen's repositioning also prepares for potential pawn pushes that could further restrict black's pieces and gain more space, setting the stage for a long-term positional advantage. Initiating a subtle repositioning, the bishop seeks a more active diagonal, eyeing the queenside where white's pawns have advanced aggressively. Focusing on the open d-file, white aims to exploit the potential weakness of black's isolated c-pawn while simultaneously bringing another piece into active play. The rook's relocation to d1 is a strategic choice designed to pressure the center and create lines of attack, preparing for potential advances or exchanges that could benefit white's piece coordination. This maneuver also clears the way for the other rook to potentially support the action. Black's queen now eyes the queenside, preparing to contest the open c-file and potentially bring support to the kingside should it become necessary. Opening the b-file with this capture dramatically alters the board's structure, creating immediate tactical possibilities while simultaneously presenting a potential target for black's rook on c8. Finally, black reclaims a pawn and simplifies the position, but at what cost to piece activity and the potential for future piece play on the open c-file. Recapturing with the bishop immediately cleans up the queenside and opens the b-file for potential infiltration, but it does give black a freer hand in the center and potentially allows them to develop their pieces more harmoniously. Consider if this exchange truly benefits white's long-term plans or if it simplifies black's structure too advantageously, paving the way for their pieces to find active squares without further obstruction. The rook now aggressively claims the open file, creating a potent attacking battery with the queen against white's kingside, and challenging the control of the central squares that white seemed to be establishing. A strategic repositioning unfolds, aiming to secure the rook's active potential on the open queen's file and challenge black's control over the central ranks. Black repositions the rook to the d-file, a natural response aiming to contest control and potentially support a pawn push or future initiative on that open column, while also safeguarding the rook from any immediate threats. This rook maneuver immediately aims to secure the kingside, anticipating potential pawn pushes on the queenside and looking to bring this rook into the defense if the black queen swings over. The bishop, having completed its circuit and evaluated the open files, now establishes itself on a more active diagonal, posing an immediate threat to white's rook on a1 and potentially aiming to disrupt the coordination of white's pieces. Gambiting mobility for a potential outpost, white reroutes the rook, eyeing the weakened c5 pawn and simultaneously preparing to occupy the b-file, aiming to disrupt black's queenside structure and create persistent pressure. Unlocking central activity and preparing to contest the d-file are key objectives for black, and this repositioning of the bishop from the active, but perhaps exposed a7 g1 diagonal, to a more defensive stance on c8 hints at a desire to consolidate and potentially challenge white's queenside initiative, while also freeing up the d-pawn for future advances or to support pawn breaks elsewhere on the board. Emboldened by space on the queenside, white boldly pushes a rook into black's second rank, aiming to exploit the awkward placement of the bishop and create immediate pressure. The rook repositions, seeking to unburden the d-file and potentially contest the open files, a necessary countermeasure against the opponent's encroaching piece on b6. The queen repositions to attack the isolated pawn on c5, aiming to exploit its structural weakness and potentially force concessions. Securing the queen's position by repositioning it to centralize its influence and prepare for potential counterplay along the c-file seems the primary intention behind this repositioning. A bold simplification, exchanging queens and opening up lines for a potential endgame battle. The queen's repositioning to d6 unlocks immediate counterplay, directly challenging white's central pawn structure and preparing to potentially exploit the open d-file should white's rook on d1 be further pressured. Asserting dominion over the b-file, white immediately seeks to leverage the open path to pressure black's remaining queenside pawn structure. The pawn on c5 now becomes a potential target, and black seeks to improve the queen's active participation in the center. White is aiming to disrupt black's central pawn structure and potentially create an isolated pawn for black. This maneuver might also free up the rook on the file for future action. Restoring a pawn to the central battleground offers a more balanced pawn structure and prepares for potential queenside expansion, a welcome change from the rigid pawn chain that has dominated the queenside recently. Unlocking the b-file's potential, this maneuver aims to exploit the queenside pawn structure's weaknesses after black's capture, potentially creating immediate threats or preparing for a central pawn push. The unexpected maneuver of the rook to the queenside aims to disrupt white's queenside structure and potentially create a passed pawn, though it temporarily sacrifices material control of the d-file and might expose the king to checks if white reacts sharply. Seizing the unprotected rook on b7 opens up the queen to a potentially devastating invasion of the 7th rank, a classic strategic goal, though black's bishop on d7 and rook on a5 will need to be carefully accounted for. Snapping back the pawn immediately is the most direct and forceful response, reclaiming material that was just surrendered and forcing a decisive liquidation of pieces. The rook's sacrifice, though seemingly aggressive, now leaves white with a clear material advantage and the initiative to dictate the game's direction. Sensing the inevitable endgame transition and the potential for white's rook to become a menace on the 7th rank, black prioritizes fortifying the kingside structure, creating a defensive pawn shield to mitigate immediate threats and prepare for eventual king activity. Securing the king's immediate vicinity from potential diagonal threats is a prudent, if somewhat passive, step in this endgame transition. The bold queen sacrifice finally unlocks lines towards white's king, promising a dynamic fight for control of the central files. A cautious step, seeking a haven for the monarch after the recent exchange on b7, now that the queens are off the board, placing the king's safety at a premium amidst the lingering pawn structure and potential open lines. The bishop, after a brief detour, returns to a more active square, aiming to exploit the weakened kingside by potentially swinging over to the h7 square to support a future attack. Seizing the now open diagonal for the queen allows white to exert pressure on black's central pawn structure and potentially create opportunities for piece activity, while simultaneously dissuading black's king from venturing towards the queenside for safety. Shifting the queen to this central square aims to challenge white's rook on the opened file and potentially create counterplay, though it also exposes it to potential threats from white's king and pieces. Reclaiming the central squares and preparing to develop the bishop to a more active diagonal offers a strategic repositioning, aiming to counter black's queenside pressure by reinforcing the kingside and potentially creating threats against black's somewhat exposed monarch. The queen repositions, eyeing the weak pawns on white's queenside, a calculated gamble to stir up activity before the king becomes too exposed. A decisive simplification, trading queens to reach a pawn-up endgame where white's passed pawn on the queenside becomes a significant long-term advantage, though black's active bishop might pose some immediate counterplay on the kingside. The king's shield crumbles, revealing a perilous diagonal. Consolidating the pawn chain becomes paramount in this endgame where mobility and piece activity are key. Chasing the bishop away with g4 aims to restrict its influence on the queenside and consolidate the central pawn structure, potentially preparing for a kingside pawn advance or a more active piece deployment. The bishop's retreat to c8 aims to defend the now exposed a5 pawn, which has become a target after the queen's exchange and subsequent pawn push. However, this maneuver concedes further control of the center and squares like d4 and e5, allowing white to potentially consolidate and prepare for further pawn advances on the queenside. It's a defensive reaction that sacrifices some initiative. Pushing the pawn forward creates a fascinating dynamic. It opens a clear path for the queen to potentially infiltrate, while simultaneously challenging black's central pawn structure and demanding a response that could lead to pawn simplification or a tactical skirmish. Exploring the newly opened diagonal, this pawn thrust aims to disrupt white's queenside structure and create counterplay, potentially overextending itself if not supported carefully. A desperate attempt to create passed pawn chaos, but it might just cement the queen's dominance over the vulnerable king. The king's journey to safety begins, seeking shelter on the kingside after the recent pawn storm. Sacrificing the pawn opens a diagonal for the bishop and creates persistent pressure on black's queenside pawn structure, aiming to exploit the isolated nature of the pawn later.